I'm John Cowan again, and I don't want to hog the mic, but I think there are some key points that I'd like to at least get on the platform for discussion. And listening to the dialogue this morning, if you look at by my record, about 65 persons got to speak, and probably a good 66% of that obviously very adamantly opposed to a national animal ID system. But I think what I got from our discussion this morning is the lack of information and the lack of understanding that all parties have with this whole situation. And so I think it behooves us, as we move this thing along, depending upon where it comes out, it's extremely important to recognize first that there is a high degree of uncertainty. There's a high degree of lack of confidence, and those issues have to be met before this thing moves too far along. Now, my question is, has the train left the station? And as it's been alluded to in some of the discussions this morning, this is just dialogue to be recorded in some record. But has the train not left the station? And the second part of that question is, will the dialogue that originates from these listening sessions actually be manufactured into a working document to try to resolve these differences, these issues? We clearly have broad differences of opinion on the need. In my brief discussions earlier today, I talked about global market, and that is the problem that we have within the dairy industry, is that once you have an incident of any foreign animal disease that impacts your market, that market dictates where you've got product to be sold and what the price will be for that product. And that impacts everybody. Food prices, and in fact, it's got a real broad spectrum. So I think we need to sit back, take a real deep breath, and look at this to be sure that we fully analyze what we're talking about. And then I think, thirdly, there needs to be strong consideration given to the smaller operations, the self-contained operations, and the assessment of the risk to the global market, to the major production agricultural areas, as to what their efficacy is to a major outbreak. So it's pretty comprehensive discussion.
I have a question for Mr. Cowan and the dairy producers. Philip Glass with North American Hair Sheep Association and the Exotic Wildlife Association. We sympathize with anybody having disease problems, but since the dairymen are already enrolled in the mandatory ID program and not seeming to make progress with their disease problems, why would you propose a mandatory program on the rest of us?
The question is, I don't know that we're mandating a program on anybody other than our own species, but unfortunately, when you have cattle that may have an opportunity to come in contact with other cattle through fence line contact, a foreign animal disease on a beef operation next to a dairy operation has the same potential for spreading that animal disease. Let's be sure that we try to understand that the mechanisms needs to be in place, whether we have it in this NAIS system design or not, is that when an animal disease outbreak does occur, and let me be sure, I think we all feel that the potential, whether it be naturally occurring or if it be man-made initiated, would be devastating to the U.S. agricultural industry and would be devastating to our ability to maintain a global market position, which would be devastating on the prices that farmers would receive for their products. So, I'm not here to say that we're going to force it on anybody else, but we've got a system in place. 3 years ago, we tested every dairy herd in Texas. Today, we've regained our Texas Free State for TB. We do have a suspect herd right now. Probably that herd could be traced back to import from Mexico. We're still trying to look at that. But without having something in place, the assurance that the consuming public, whether it be domestic or foreign, will have on your industries, you've got to factor that into your business plan, how you want to prepare.
This is Giovanni Angelo from Austin, and I just wanted to make a comment to John's remarks about system in place. And one of when the mad cow disease hit the market, what was it, 2003? I was reading an article about this because I was kind of following it, and that beef had already been packed and distributed before the USDA even got to it. So I don't see how a shipping process in some cow's ear is going to help regain that beef from the public domain and make anything any safer. Maybe if you're talking about after-fact traceability, then why can't we just go back to the ear tags? Or that's my. How is an injected chip into an animal's skin going to help any of this? Can anybody answer that?